Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, I want to share something that can completely transform the way you learn English forever. This is not about grammar tricks or memorizing big dictionaries. It's about using simple, practical, and powerful words that can allow you to communicate confidently in any situation. Let me tell you a story. Maria is from Spain. She started learning English in school, like most people. She studied grammar rules, memorized vocabulary lists, and passed her exams. She could read books, write essays, and understand movies with subtitles. She knew thousands of words. She believed she was ready to speak English fluently. But the moment she tried speaking with a native English speaker, she froze. Her mind went blank. She couldn't form a simple sentence. She felt frustrated, embarrassed, and hopeless. All the words she had memorized disappeared. Maria realized that knowing words does not automatically mean you can speak English. Maria thought she needed more words. So she bought bigger dictionaries. She memorized 10 new words every day. But nothing changed. She was trapped in what I call the 300-word trap. The 300-word trap is when you focus so much on collecting words that you never practice using them. You become a word collector, not a word user. You might know thousands of words, but if you cannot use the most common words in daily conversation, you will never speak confidently. One day, Maria found a research study that changed everything. Scientists studied how native English speakers communicate daily. They discovered that native speakers use only about 1,000 to 2,500 different words regularly. But here's the most surprising part. The top 300 words cover 65% of everything spoken in everyday English. Just 300 words. And yet, most learners ignore these words and chase complex vocabulary, thinking it will make them sound smart. The truth is, native speakers sound smart because they communicate clearly with simple words. Maria decided to try something new. She stopped collecting new words. She stopped memorizing difficult vocabulary. She focused only on the 300 most common English words. Every day, she made sentences, spoke them aloud, wrote them down, and used them in conversations. She repeated the same words in many situations. At first, it felt awkward. She worried about mistakes and not sounding smart. But she kept practicing. Slowly, she started thinking in English. She started speaking naturally. She began understanding more. Her confidence grew every single day. Maria's first practice was at a cafe. She ordered a coffee. "Hello, I want a coffee, please." The waiter understood her. She added, "Can I have water, please?" She asked, "Where's the bathroom?" Within a few days, she could order food, ask simple questions, and chat briefly with the staff, all using only her 300 words. Maria had been practicing her 300 words every day for weeks now. She had built confidence ordering at cafes, shopping at markets, and talking to friends. But she wanted to expand her English even further. She realized that true fluency meant using her words in different contexts, situations she hadn't experienced yet. The next challenge was traveling in a new city. Maria booked a short trip to London. She carried a small notebook with her 300 words. At the airport, she practiced phrases silently. "Where's my gate? I need help. Can I see the map?" Every word she had repeated at home suddenly became useful. She approached the information desk. "Hello, I need help. Where's gate 23? The staff smiled. "It's on the left, after the shops." Maria nodded and thanked them. At the hotel, she had her first real challenge. Check-in. The receptionist asked several questions. Maria remembered her words. "Hello, I have a reservation. My name is Maria. I stay 3 nights." She answered clearly. "Yes, thank you. I need the key, please." Each sentence gave her more confidence. Simple words allowed her to handle real-life problems without hesitation. Once she settled in, Maria explored the city. She asked strangers for directions, bought tickets for public transportation, and even chatted with other travelers. She noticed something important. Native speakers use simple words every day, and that's enough to communicate effectively. She didn't need to memorize hundreds of difficult words to connect with people. Maria also practiced writing emails and notes using her 300 words. She sent messages to her friends. "I am at the park. I see a big tree. I sit and read my book. It is sunny. I feel happy." Her friends responded easily. understanding everything perfectly. Maria realized that using basic words clearly could communicate ideas just as well as complex vocabulary. Back home, Maria focused on her 30-day challenge. Each day was carefully structured. Day 1 to 5. Practice self-talk with new scenarios. Describe the morning, breakfast, commuting, and interactions with family. Day 6 to 10. Role-play conversations. Order food. Ask for directions. Explain simple problems. Day 11 to 15. Mini stories using 300 words. Create variations and add details to expand storytelling. Day 16 to 20. Social interactions outside the home. Practice at cafes, parks, and social events. Day 21 to 25. Professional English. Practice explaining projects, writing emails, speaking on the phone. Day 26 to 30. Combine everything. Speak, write, and think only with 300 words, focusing on clarity, confidence, and fluency. She developed mini stories to practice her words in context. For example, I go to the market. I see vegetables. I buy tomatoes and onions. I meet my neighbor. We talk. I feel happy. Then she changed the story slightly. I go to the park. I see a dog. I play with the dog. I feel happy. She repeated these variations many times, allowing her to internalize the words and use them naturally. Maria also mastered phrasal verbs. Words like get, go, come, take, make, do became powerful tools. For example, with get, I get up early. I get ready for school. I get better every day. I get along with my friends. Simple words combined in many ways could describe nearly every situation. Motivation was key. Maria reminded herself daily. Fluency is not about knowing all the words. Fluency is about using words automatically and confidently. Mistakes are normal. Repetition creates fluency. Confidence comes from clarity. Small achievements lead to big progress. She celebrated ordering coffee successfully, introducing herself, asking questions, and completing mini stories with ease. Maria's next real-life test was business English. She had a project to explain to her colleagues at work. She prepared only using her 300 words. I write to tell you about the project. We need to meet. We discuss the work. Thank you. Her co-workers understood clearly, and the meeting went smoothly. She realized that even in professional settings, simple words can communicate complex ideas. Every day, Maria recorded her own voice, repeated sentences, wrote new mini-stories, and practiced dialogues. She built confidence and automaticity. She learned to think in English without translating from her native language. She also learned how to correct herself. When she made a mistake, she didn't panic. She repeated the sentence correctly. I go to the store. I buy bread. Simple repetition reinforced learning. Mistakes became learning opportunities. By the end of the second part of her journey, Maria could handle traveling and navigating new cities, social conversations with strangers, professional conversations at work, writing clear emails and messages, mini stories, dialogues, and role plays. She had proven that 300 words, practiced correctly, can be enough to communicate fluently in real life. Maria had been practicing English diligently for months. She now felt confident ordering food, traveling, and speaking at work, but she wanted to grow even further. She knew that true fluency comes from using English in social life, hobbies, and cultural situations, not just everyday necessities. One morning, Maria decided to attend a local art class. She wanted to meet new people and practice English naturally. She introduced herself. Hi, my name is Maria. I like painting. I am learning English. The instructor smiled and replied, Welcome. Today we paint flowers. Do you like flowers? Maria answered clearly, Yes, I like flowers. They are beautiful. She continued speaking using her 300 words. I paint a red flower. I feel happy. I see my friend. We talk. Every sentence reinforced her vocabulary and context. After the class, Maria joined a hiking club. She practiced asking questions. Where's the trail? How long is the hike? Can I join? She described what she saw along the path. I see trees. I see birds. I feel happy. The sun is warm. By practicing English while doing hobbies, Maria discovered that learning became fun, natural, and memorable. Maria also focused on cultural interactions. She visited museums and historical sites. She read signs, asked questions, and explained her thoughts to others. I like this painting. I see many colors. It is very big. It is beautiful. She noticed that even tourists and locals understood her perfectly, using only her 300 words. Simple words were enough to express ideas clearly. Back home, Maria expanded her mini-stories practice. She wrote daily stories. I go to the park. I see a dog. I play with the dog. I feel happy. Then she changed the story. I go to the library. I see books. I read books. I feel calm. Each day, she created 10 to 15 variations for each scenario, reinforcing her 300 words naturally. Maria's dialogues practice became more advanced. She created long conversations for real-life situations. At a cafe, I want coffee, please. Can I have sugar? Thank you. How much? At a store, I need bread. Where is milk? I see vegetables. I buy apples. At a park, hello. How are you? I like this park. The weather is nice. I feel happy. Each dialogue included repetition, new sentences, and small variations, making her 300 words automatic in multiple contexts. Maria also practiced listening and comprehension. She listened to simple English podcasts and repeated sentences aloud. She learned to identify words she already knew. She noticed that understanding was much easier when the words were familiar. This listening plus speaking cycle strengthened her fluency. Motivation was essential. Maria kept a journal. Today I spoke to 3 people in English. I used my 300 words. I felt confident. I am improving. She reminded herself, fluency is action, not memorization. She focused on small achievements, building confidence step by step. Maria's 30-day challenge continued with advanced practice. Days 1 to 5. Extended self-talk in multiple locations. Describe parks, stores, streets, weather, and feelings. Days 6 to 10. Role-play complex social situations. Invite someone for coffee. Ask for help in stores. Share opinions. Days 11 to 15. Write mini-stories with 10 variations each. Use adjectives, verbs, and nouns creatively. Days 16 to 20. Hobbies and activities. Art classes, sports, and cultural trips. Practice explaining what she did. Days 21 to 25. Professional interactions. Discuss projects, give instructions, schedule meetings, make requests, all with simple words. Days 26 to 30. Combine all practice types. Speak, write, think, and respond only with 300 words. Track progress and celebrate small wins. Maria also mastered phrasal verbs and expressions. Words like get, go, take, make, do, come became her tools. She created sentences. I get up early. I get ready for class. I get along with friends. I take notes. I make plans. I do exercises. I come back home. I feel happy. Each word had dozens of practical uses, making her English flexible and expressive. By the end of this phase, Maria could communicate in social and cultural situations, describe hobbies and experiences naturally, handle longer conversations with friends and strangers, write clear and varied mini-stories, listen and respond accurately, use phrasal verbs and expressions confidently. Maria realized a key truth. You don't need thousands of words to be fluent. You need to practice 300 words deeply, in context, and repetitively. Simple words, used well, are more powerful than long lists of complex vocabulary. Every day, Maria repeated the principle: clarity over complexity, connection over impression, confidence over perfection. This mindset allowed her to grow rapidly. Mistakes were no longer obstacles, they were lessons. Maria also explored practical challenges. She set goals for each week, talk to 5 new people, write 3 mini-stories daily, create 5 new dialogues. She tracked her success in a notebook. I spoke to a cashier. I used only 300 words. I ordered coffee successfully. I asked for directions. Recording achievements built self-confidence. Through hobbies, cultural experiences, dialogues, exercises, and mini-stories, Maria's English became automatic. She no longer translated in her mind. She thought and responded in English naturally. She understood that real fluency comes from repeated action, context, and connection, not memorization. Maria had been learning English for months now. She had gone from freezing in conversations to speaking naturally in cafes, shops, parks, and even at work. But now, She wanted to challenge herself further. She decided to focus on travel, social life, hobbies, and family interactions. She wanted her English to be completely flexible and natural in every real-life situation. Her first travel experience was a weekend trip to Paris. She prepared by reviewing her 300 words and creating dialogues for all possible scenarios: airport, taxi, hotel, cafe, museum, and park. At the airport, she practiced silently. "Where's my gate? I need help. Can I see the map?" When she spoke to the staff, "Hello, I need help. Where is gate 12? She noticed how comfortable simple words made communication. They understood her perfectly, and she didn't feel stressed. At the hotel, she used her English for check-in. "Hello, I have a reservation. My name is Maria. I stay 3 nights. The receptionist responded, and Maria answered clearly, "Thank you. I need the key, please." By using only simple words repeatedly, she was able to communicate effectively without confusion. Exploring Paris, Maria visited cafes and restaurants. She practiced ordering food. "I want coffee, please. Can I have sugar? Thank you. How much?" She asked for directions and explained her needs. "Excuse me, where is the museum? I want to see the painting. Thank you." She realized that native speakers use simple words daily, and this is enough to communicate clearly. Maria also focused on hobbies and personal interests. She joined a local painting class and a yoga workshop. She introduced herself. "Hi, my name is Maria. I like painting. I am learning English." She explained her actions and feelings. "I paint a red flower. I feel happy. I see my friend. We talk." Simple words allowed her to describe her experiences fully and naturally. At the same time, Maria practiced family interactions. She spoke with her parents and siblings using simple English. "Hello. How are you? I like your idea. I am happy today. I see my friend." She described her daily life, plans, and feelings. Practicing English in the family environment strengthened her confidence in speaking naturally. Maria continued her mini-stories and dialogues practice. She wrote stories every day. "I go to the market. I see vegetables. I buy tomatoes and onions. I meet my neighbor. We talk. I feel happy." Then she made variations. "I go to the park. I see a dog. I play with the dog. I feel happy." Each story included 10 to 15 variations, allowing her to use her 300 words creatively in multiple contexts. She also developed advanced dialogues for role-play. At a cafe, "Hello, I want coffee. Can I have sugar? How much? Shopping. I need bread. Where's milk? I see apples. I buy red apples." Social events. "Hi, my name is Maria. I like your dress. How is your family?" Professional setting. "I write to tell you about the project. We need to meet. Thank you." Each dialogue included repetitions, variations, and practical expressions, making her English flexible and ready for any real-life situation. Maria strengthened her phrasal verbs and expressions knowledge. Get, go, take, make, do, come. She created dozens of sentences. "I get up early. I get ready. I get better every day. I take notes. I make plans. I do exercises. I come back home. I feel happy." Simple words combined in many ways allowed her to express complex ideas with ease. Motivation and mindset were central to Maria's success. She kept a journal of her daily achievements. "Today I spoke to 5 people in English. I used my 300 words. I felt confident. I am improving." She reminded herself, fluency comes from repeated action, not memorization. Confidence came from clarity. Mistakes were lessons, not failures. Her 30-day challenge conclusion reflected her progress. She could communicate in travel, social, professional, and family contexts. She could write clear mini-stories and dialogues. She could listen, understand, and respond naturally. She could use 300 words creatively to express feelings, ideas, and plans. Maria realized that simple words, used well, are more powerful than complex vocabulary. She understood that knowing thousands of words is useless without practical use. Her 300 words had become tools she could rely on anywhere, anytime. Finally, Maria reflected, "I used to freeze in conversations. I used to be afraid to speak. Now I speak naturally. I communicate confidently. I connect with people. I express my ideas. I think in English." She wanted everyone learning English to know the truth. You don't need to memorize thousands of words to be fluent. You need to practice 300 words deeply, in context, and repetitively. Small words, repeated in multiple scenarios, build fluency faster than complicated words ever could. Every day, Maria repeated, clarity over complexity, connection over impression, confidence over perfection. Mistakes became natural steps toward improvement. Repetition and practice made simple words automatic. Confidence grew with clarity. Maria's English journey was now complete. She could handle travel, social events, professional meetings, hobbies, family interactions, and cultural experiences. She had escaped the 300-word trap. She spoke English clearly, confidently, and naturally. Now, it was your turn. Focus on the 300 most common words. Practice every day. Use them in dialogues, mini stories, social situations, and professional life. Repeat, vary, and apply them in real contexts. Confidence, fluency, and clarity come from action, not memorization. Your English journey starts today. Speak simply. Speak clearly. Speak confidently. The world is waiting to hear your voice. Your ideas matter. Your words matter. Use them well, and you will connect, communicate, and succeed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. And always remember, I love you.